Auction time. This is the 7J series auction. 7J01. Georgia Chert. Flint River. Coastal Plains. Whichever one you want to call it. It's raw chert. Translucent. It's got a little bit of swirl in it, so to speak. Yeah, a little bit of some inclusions and voids. That's the only void, I think. And it's got one of those technological features called a ring crack. Yeah. As I was sharpening it and finishing it out, I took out, I think there was a lump right there. I ended up generating that so called technological feature called a ring crack. Yeah. Or as it might alternately be used for maybe a arrow scraper. Yeah. So I just left it in. Otherwise, I would have to take that whole side back about 1/8 of an inch. And I didn't want to do it. Nope. So I left it. It's 6 5/8 inches long by 1 15/16. Yeah. So yeah, I left that in there so I didn't have to reduce that whole side down. Wanted to keep it wide. Yeah. It's sharpened all the way around, even down at the base. It's more crudely sharpened down here and more finely sharpened up there. I mean, down here, I didn't spend as much time sharpening as I did up near the top third or so. Okay. It's very steppy as a material. I like working it, but it's hard to work. Yeah. To get it nice and smooth. All right. 7J02. Another Georgia chert, Flint River, coastal plains, translucent yellow. This one's got more swirl in it than the previous one. It's that chalky inclusion right there. I left it a little thick because I didn't want any ring cracks on the edge. So I left it a little thicker than the previous one. Okay? Overall, it's thicker. Yeah. It's more easily made smoother if you leave it thicker. Or for me, anyway. Yeah, some people don't have a problem. But I find that the flaking gets a lot more finicky as you get thinner. Thinner material in your workpiece means thinner flakes, and those thinner flakes can't handle being run long distances. Yeah, at least the way I do it, they can't. Again, it's more finely chipped up near the top than it is around the other edges. So it's more crudely sharpened here and on the base than it is up on near the tip. Okay, so the tip I spent more time on than everywhere else, but it's still sharpened all the way around. Okay. A little over 5 3/4 by 2 1/4 almost. Yeah, almost 2 1/4. Yeah, so this is my favorite shape as far as flint knapping goes. People ask me, what's my favorite point style? Actually, it's not a point style. It's a blade style. I like making these teardrop shaped or leaf shaped blades. That's it. Everything else is just fancy stuff. Yeah. All right. 7J03. This is a raw amoeba type chert, but it's a lower grade because it has lots of inclusions and it's not very consistent. And it can be quite steppy, which is pretty typical of raw cherts. But sometimes it just gets ridiculous. Yeah. and it's concretey down here, which isn't too bad on the stem. Luckily, the concrete's right there on the base and not up here near the tip because I wanted to sharpen that tip down. Yeah. So it's sharp all the way around. It's a little bit thick because, again, I wanted to keep it smooth. It's much easier to keep it smooth when it's thicker. Yep. Okay. It's a peternalis type, if I have not mentioned that before. Peternalis type point. It could be either a knife or that little dart point. It's almost 7/8 of an inch wide, or it is 7/8 wide. So at that width, I would consider it a knife. Okay, and these were resharpened, the real ones. This is like the first stage. It's a first stage peternalis point. Okay, all right. So let's see how long it is. 4 5/8 by 2 1/8. Okay, it's not translucent. Did I show it? Yeah, it's opaque amoeba chert. Usually the amoeba cherts, if they're relatively clear, they're excellent as far as nappability. But this had some issues, so I wanted to do it off camera in case I ran into some problems and I wouldn't have distractions while I was doing the damage control. Okay, I like the way this turned out, actually. I like it in shape, and I like the material. Materials from Sal. Nice stuff. 7J04. Oops. This is a video point. Yeah. New Mexico chart. It has an inclusion in it, that little crystal pocket. And as it got thinner, it got more difficult to run flakes around that crystal pocket. The material here is tougher to knap than this material over here. See that? There's a difference in consistency, but it turned out okay. It is crunchy right there and steppy. I don't like it that much, but I just left it. And it did have a crack on the side, and I wanted to chase that crack down in there with a notch, but I ended up blowing out a barb. So I just made wide side notches. Okay, sharpened all the way around, including the base. The inside of the notches is sharp too. Okay, it's all on video. It's not translucent. This is opaque chert. Yeah. A little bit of a crunchy spot right there, hard to sharpen. All right. 7J05 is, there's two items or two objects under this one item number, and these are quartzite points. From the same person, I got a shipment of a bunch of rocks, and both these pieces of quartzite came from that shipment. This one is just a contracting stem point. It is sharpened, and the tip around here, I spent more time on the tip. It is pretty sharp. These both are translucent. Quartzite is usually translucent, and this is not an exception. These are raw pieces. They are not heat treats. I imagine that it would be easier to knap if heat treated. Yeah, but these are both on video. Okay, these are two video points, both of them. I guess I didn't mention that. I don't know if I mentioned that. 2 7/8 long, and this one is 4 inches long. Okay, and this tape measure has the centimeters on this side. Okay, a little over 10 centimeters for this one here. So I know someone once asked me, can you give us the millimeters? Well, it's on there too. Okay, all right. Difficult to knap this material. Yeah, takes a while to get used to it, especially in a raw state. Sometimes this does not respond to heat very well. Uh, it depends on the stone. Some of the stone needs an extremely high heat to have any effect. But you got to experiment. I don't know for sure, but these are both raw, unheat treated stone. Okay, both together. 7J06, a box of miscellaneous flakes, and I think there's one biface. No, there's a knife blade. Or a leaf-shaped blade, I should say. Yeah, leaf-shaped blade. I was using this to cut some wood, actually. This is New Mexico chert. Yeah, it came out of the same box as this one here. It's very similar material, except this one is a lot less predictable. Okay, this one was more predictable than this one. All right, this one had some inclusions and nasty spots. So what I did was I just made a knife out of it. I abraded this side and that side on the face. You can see the abrasion marks on the face. I abraded all the way around the lower part, and I was holding it like this. There's still some wood remnants on here. There's still little bits of wood, sawdust or whatever. I resharpened it this morning because the wood dulled it pretty quickly. Yeah. Mainly because I was trying to do it fast. But yeah, when you can saw, I was sawing some shoots with it to see if that would work. It works, but I want a longer blade than this. Yeah. Sawing with a small distance is not that easy. All right, so what is this? Oh, almost 5 inches. Yep. By 1.3 inches. So I think this is the most interesting one in here. Everything else are just samples of different things. Okay, this is raw, I think. Georgia chert, Flint River, butterscotch, high grade stuff. Yeah, this is the higher grade. There was a crack in it right there, I think, somewhere, but I took it out. Three inches. Just give you an idea. Okay, these are some obsidian pieces I threw in just for grins and giggles. It's high grade stuff. This is like this is opaque. You can't see through them. Let me see. Well, a little bit. This one is an opaque, or is it a banded? Yeah, if you get it thin, you can see through it. And this is triple flow. Okay, just a few pieces of obsidian to mess with. High grade stuff. High grade opaque obsidian, these two. And this is a high grade triple flow. Anyway, this is Knife River Flint from up north. I think it comes from South Dakota or North Dakota. They call it KRF, right? So Knife River Flint. I had some flakes left over from a shipment I got several months ago. I said, yeah, I'll just include one in this batch of samples. This is high grade Texas chert. I call this high quality raw Texas. This is a heat treat. This is a Georgia swirl. I don't know what the heat was on this. I believe it is a heat treat. I was saving it in my heat treat box. It better be heat treat. Let's see. This Texas high grade raw is translucent. So is the Georgia chert. This is root beer. This is Texas. It's an overshot flake. Some people like to save these. Sometimes they want them for demonstrations or whatever. I mean, for samples of what an overshot flake looks like when they're demonstrating flint knapping. I was saving this for the same thing to ship it off to someone who does demonstrations, but I can easily come up with more of these if I want to goof up my stuff. Yeah. This one is Buffalo River heat treat. Heat treat. Buffalo River. This from Danny Collins. Sample of that stuff. Not translucent. 3 3/4. This piece is 3 inches. This piece is 3 1/4. It's thin on the edges, so you're not going to get the full length. Yeah. So this is a heat treat. It's not translucent. Good stuff. I like it. This is Keokuk high grade, high quality Keokuk heat treat. Yeah. It's a little bit curved, but you can get the idea, or you can get the hang of it. Or in case you're wondering what high grade Keokuk is, and this is high quality Novaculite. Oops. Dang, I messed that up. There's no R's in anything I wanted to describe. Let's see. So this is a heat treat. Novaculite. I don't know what to do with that R. Anyway. High quality. Danny Collins also. That's where I got this from. He knows how to heat the Novaculite just right. So in case you don't know what that is, or you've never experienced high grade Novaculite, there you go. It's not too delicate and not too tough. Just right. $7J07 is a box of little bifaces and refined blades. All right, I got 3 obsidian and 3 chert. Okay, let me see if I can remember. This is a heat treat. I don't want to mark on these in case the marking doesn't come off. All right, this is. Let me measure these. Two and 5/8. Yeah. 2 3/4. Almost 2.5. 2 3/4. 2 5/8, a little bit over, and 2 7/8. Okay, let's start with the very end. This is raw Texas Georgetown blue, or what they call Georgetown blue. Difficult to knap, but it feels so nice. Yeah, it's not as velvety as some of the Georgetown out there, but this is sharpened all the way around. Okay, this is what I call a refined blade. Even though it's like for maybe a hunting point, I still call it a blade. I like making the blades, so I end up making a bunch of blades, and if I have time, I will notch them and so forth, but didn't have much time this week. Yeah. Anyway, it'll give you an idea. If you want to notch it, it'll give you an idea what this is like. Okay? It's raw Georgetown blue from Texas. Yeah. And it's not translucent. It is. Well, there you go. I thought it was not going to be translucent, but I guess I got it thin enough. Let's look at all the potential translucencies. This one's very translucent. This one is not. This one is a triple flow. This one is a banded. And this one is opaque obsidian. Just very little translucency around the edges. Okay, we got this one out of the way. This one is a root beer, raw. Okay, raw root beer chert. Difficult to eliminate all the little step fractures. But I got it as thin as possible. It's very tough material, very durable. I did sharpen it. Yeah, all these edges are sharpened. This is not down below, but these sides are sharpened. Okay. I did that this morning. I sharpened it this morning. It still needs one more pass. So it's not completely sharpened like this one. This one I did 2 passes on it. Yeah, all the way around. So this is the sharpest one in the box. Followed by this one. This one's also sharp. But this one, I did 1 pass only. I usually do 2 passes to completely sharpen it. Okay? But yeah, root beer raw, very tough. A tough grade of root beer, not the high grade stuff, but tough stuff. This one is a heat treat Georgetown Flint, sharpened all the way around. Yeah, even the base. Okay, very, very easy to nap. Oh yes, I left it thick because I didn't want to snap it. I did not want to snap it. I think this particular piece comes from Loftin Lithics, Loftin, Loftin. He's on Facebook. High grade heat treat, Georgetown. So no need to explain this. It's triple flow. It is not sharpened. All of these here are unsharpened. They're just bifaces. Okay, you can see I did grind the edges in preparation for sharpening and thinning, further thinning. Okay, but these are just preforms, or you can call them bifaces also. All preforms are bifaces, but not all bifaces are preforms. Okay? In this case, they could be considered both bifaces and preforms. All right? So just be aware, I did not sharpen these. Okay? I did not. They're ground. The edges are ground down. So you'll have to sharpen them if you want them sharp. Okay? All right. So 6 little blades in various stages. Last but not least, 7J08 is a box of random high-grade obsidian flakes. Oh, yes. I'm not going to be able to nap all the obsidian I've got, so I'm going to start selling some of the flakes. Let's see. This is an odd one. I don't have very much of this stuff. And I'm saving some flakes for later, to make arrowheads out of later. I forget who I got this from. It's not from Bill Taylor or Alan Cole. It's from someone else. I forget now. Dang it. Anyways, very interesting stuff. I don't think I got it from Alan Cole. No, I just can't remember who it was. Anyway, this is kind of rare. Let's see. This is black butter stuff. Black butter, my favorite stuff. It is translucent around the edges, but it's so shiny and very high grade. Yeah, it's probably my favorite stuff to nap. Even though it can be temperamental, it can be difficult to sharpen, etc., etc. But it's high grade, good stuff. This is same as this over here. These 2 pieces are kind of a rare type of obsidian. Yeah. I do have more of it, but I got some bigger pieces I'm going to nap down. Yeah. This is a, let's see. It's not translucent. It might be. If you get it thin, it'll look like a triple flow, but it's got very little clear in it, but it's a very high grade triple flow. It's not a typical triple flow in that it's not as glass-like as this over here. See, these are both triple flow, but they're very different as far as the properties. This is more like glass. This is more like a dacite. or what Flint knappers call a dacite. Okay, high grade. It's like the black butter, but it's got red and clear in it. Yeah, it naps. It naps like the black butter. Oh, another flake of that raw stuff. What am I doing? I mean, that rare stuff. I don't know what I'm doing. Giving it all away? I guess. This is high grade, and I think it's banded or cloudy. Yeah, high grade, very dark. This is the silvery sheen type stuff. It can be very temperamental and snap in half-ish. This is not for beginner nappers. It's for advanced nappers because it's difficult to nap. I've napped some of this on video. So this is the biggest piece in here, I suppose. Yeah, a little over 3 inches. Black butter. It's got an inclusion there. Hopefully that's the only inclusion that it's got. The little ash pocket or whatever they call it. There's one right there. Hopefully it doesn't mess you up. Yeah, it's my favorite stuff. Yeah, this is similar to the black butter, but it's gray. High grade stuff. Oh, this is high grade stuff, except maybe this one. Yeah, I picked it because it was thick enough to, you can mess around with this first, I guess, if you want to get the feel for it. It's got some weirdness in it, but otherwise it's high grade. See that? It just has some weirdness in that part. It shouldn't keep you from thinning it down. It's just going to look, I don't know, rough instead of smooth like on that side. And this is another high grade buttery type of obsidian, but it looks like a triple flow if you get it thin enough. Okay, very little clear in it, but there is some. Yeah. All right. So yeah, pieces of higher grade obsidian, interesting also as far as the patterns and colors. All right. Rules. Okay, these are just a short version of the rules. I'm using these little note cards. Okay. There will be an auction here every Monday. I will post the auction video at 4 p.m. Eastern Time. Okay, I'll try to get it posted at 4 p.m. Sometimes I might be late. And it will end at 9 p.m. Eastern Time. Every time. That I won't be late on. Okay. You bid in the comments section. If you're not able to post a comment, you will not be able to participate in the auction. You bid under one or more of my pre-populated comments. Please include the item number if you're not sure you placed your bid in the correct place. Okay, kind of self-explanatory. Try not to bid at the last minute. I'm using YouTube's time tracker and it's not always accurate. Okay, just fair warning. Okay, I reserve the right to call the winner as I see fit in any case. Right? Okay, so there's been issues where it's been very close and people have been bidding at the last minute, and sometimes YouTube says you're late, even though you and I both know you're on time, but I got to use a time tracker that everybody sees. So that's why I use YouTube's time tracker. All right? Okay. Look at my previous auctions to see how they work. If you have questions, you can email me or post your questions in the comments section. So my email is jackcrafty2@gmail.com. All right. There is a description of the auction in the description box. I also post this short video clip every time in case you don't like reading. Yeah. There will be a hard close of the auction at 9 p.m. Eastern Time. It depends on your time zone, though. It ends at 8 if you're on Central Time, 7 if you're on Mountain Time, and 6 if you're on Pacific Time. Make sure you account for your time zone. Okay? All right. I will begin announcing winners 1 minute after the top of the hour. It may take me up to 45 minutes to announce all the winners, though. Okay, so give me some time to announce all the winners. I will start at 1 minute after the top of the hour because I refresh the comment section to make sure I see everyone's comment and I know what time they bid. Okay. I will hit the heart button if you win. This is the only notification you will receive. There is no private messaging in YouTube. And I will not hunt you down on Facebook or anything like that to announce that you are the winner. I will put a heart on the winning bid. I will heart it or love it or whatever it's called. Okay? All right. As a last resort, I can bid for you if you contact me before the auction ends. However, I will not bid for you closer than 5 minutes prior to closing. Okay? So keep that in mind. Again, my email is jackcrafty2@gmail.com. You can email me if you're having trouble. You can bid as many times as you like. I will only charge you the amount that beats the next highest bidder. This helps to prevent sniping. Okay, so if you're not sure what that means, just look at previous auctions. You'll see that some guys bid a lot toward the end of the auction. They start putting in bids at the last minute just so someone won't snipe them for like $2. You know what sniping is, right? If you don't, then I don't know what to tell you. Let's see. Did I skip one? No. I will hit the like button if and when I see your bid. It may take me a while, but as the time approaches the closing, I check more frequently. Okay, so this is how you know that I'm seeing your bids or comments. I will hit the like button. Okay, this is very important, especially if you're new. If you suspect that your comments or bids are not being seen, try asking if I see your comments bids. You ask in the comment section. If I don't respond, I can't see your comments or bids. All right, pretty obvious. So if I can't see your comments or bids, you got to try something else, like restart your phone or use someone else's phone or get on your computer to try to bid, or send me an email. Figure out what's going on, because it's usually on your end, right? Yeah. So just try different methods to try to get your comments visible. Shipping is free in the US. International shipping is discounted but not free. Okay? Free in the US, but international shipping is not free. It's $10 extra for a light package, 1 pound or less, and $20 extra if it's heavier than that. Okay? So your international shipping is discounted, but it's not free. Shipping is free in the US. I ship all items through the U.S. Post Office. I will always provide tracking numbers. I will issue refunds if requested. Oh, yes. If you are the winner and you're new, you'll need to email me your name, your address, and preferred method of payment. Or you can ask me what I prefer. I usually prefer PayPal, but I have different payment methods that I use. I accept Venmo, Cash App, PayPal.me, Zelle. Okay, just we'll arrange this in the emails. Okay. Okay, that's it for the cheat notes. Good luck, everybody.